Hey, my name's Cliff. Clifton Pickett Jr. to be exact. I was the funny kid, always laughs and fun, always running up and down the block flipping. I grew up on the south side of Chicago in Inglewood, with my local middle school being right around the corner from me. It was only right to attend Simeon Career Academy. So let's get right up into this documentary. Structure in my family, on my daddy's side specifically, well, we could just say in general, I always was taught to be respectful and polite to others, elders, any type of person, because you wouldn't want them to do it to you. So that was just one of my intakes on my structure in my family that was brought down to me, always being polite.
Having a strict parent is a good thing. People, is a good thing having strict parents. That's why I'm strict on him. So you gotta have strict parents because it prepares you for like work. It prepares you for different personalities of people. It makes you a man. And I only have my mother around, and she still. They say it's hard for a woman to raise a man, but get a strong woman, strong mother. It makes a difference. It is totally different. So she was very strict. My strictness back then was considered as strict to me, but in reality was being polite. So when I go in the workforce, I was a polite guy, and it was just natural for me. Yes, I hold the door for you. Yes, I say thank you, you're welcome, and I greet everybody with a smile. And that was because my mother raised us to be like that.
Me knowing how my pops was always hard on us, I always knew that he always wanted us to be great at whatever we did. So I really knew like a little about him giving us the inspiration to always do better, be great at what we do. So I would never say that I found something out new about my family, but I would say that it is through the structure of how his mom, which is my grandmother, raised him and my uncle. So I always knew like just to always push myself, and he was gonna give me that push to do better in whatever I did.
Back then, the black family was more structured, and we was all one community, meaning as in all my friends and their moms and their uncles, we all knew each other. So if I was on another block acting bad, somebody mama or auntie, somebody knew my mother. So they'd call the phone and be like, hey, Cliff over here, so-and-so, so-and-so. So that was the beauty about it back then. Everybody was unified, and we can go anywhere we want to go without having any problems or complications.
Right.
And we had respect, and we just had structure, even in, as I told you, at the gangs and stuff. So the gangs was more family oriented, which it was now. Back then, I didn't realize how much good that was compared to now. So the families back then was more structured, we was more unified, and if you wasn't related, we treat each other like we were related. So the family.
I also feel like anything that my daddy ever told me, I never thought about like not using none of it. Everything he tell me, I feel like he tell me it for a reason, and it's a jewel. Like nobody would want to give away a jewel. We'll lose the memories of a jewel because you never know when you might need it. Even though he tells me in a certain way, it can be reversed or used in a different way, but it's still him helping you in some type of way because it's used, you know? So I never thought about like not using certain things he says or information that he tells me, not like I take all that into consideration.
So when we were coming up, we thought discipline was a bad word. We was taught discipline is a bad word. You do something wrong, you get disciplined. And actually discipline is not a bad word. Actually discipline is a good word because it disciplines you to have constraint on doing something that's not right. So if you're disciplined very well coming up, which my mother disciplined me very well, I had constraint on certain things. I didn't have to have a lust for women, or I didn't have to go rob and steal. Even if I was only making $4.50 an hour, I didn't have to sell drugs because I was disciplined not to do those things because we were taught if you do that, you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
And that was the thing that saved us. So that was the one thing that my mother taught me and my brother. And that's the one thing I installed in you guys, the discipline. So when I'm hard on my kids or you guys, it's not to say I'm being mean or I'm mad because I had a bad day at work. It's me preparing you for the future. It's teaching you how to train you how to be disciplined because once you get that structure and then in your characteristics, it's going to show. And then you're going to question yourself, how come people treat me a certain type of way, but they don't treat everybody else as that type of way? Because if you have that discipline in your characteristics, you'll be amazed how far you'll get just off of that. Key factor, major key factor, y'all. Discipline is very key. We just we're not taught that. We thought discipline is a bad word, and it's not. It's actually a good word.
And I think I'm gonna start preparing for my future by just setting goals for myself. I want everything mapped out and planned out the way I want it to be. I'd rather do everything accordingly. Like I said, just having my parents in my life, both of them, they give me information that I never would possibly know. Especially my father, since I am living with him, he gives me a lot of knowledge and words of encouragement. Especially being that I'm a young man growing up in this city of Chicago. So he just gives me the uprising of being a young man growing into a grown man. And that's why I'm thankful that he's in my life to help me with that, because I know certain people, or some people, they don't have that type of family bond and family in their lives to even do this type of stuff. So I'm very thankful for that. This is the documentary.